dupe. She could tell it wasn't the right one. She did not like it at all.
Right. They just like the best spot all the time.
Now in just a few minutes, we are going to head over and check out our female.
What can you do?
Do you have any questions about our boy?
Yeah, there you go.
I know the glare of these glasses is not
That
always
sucks.
the best. I know. It is a sound barrier for our pandas. We can be loud.
That's why you wear black color.
Yeah, I know, but you still got black and white in your video too.
Yeah.
Some people just stand in front of it the whole time.
Yeah.
One question I get very often, crazy enough, is do we wash our pandas? The answer, you might suspect, it is no. In a lot of pictures, they do look a lot whiter if they're right in the sun. Sometimes if you do, so he looks nice and brown on the videos. When they designed this habitat, they wanted to give a lot of choice and control. Meaning, we wanted our bears to have as many options as possible. They can be up high, they can be down low, they can be in the shade, they can be in the sun, they can be with water, without water. So there's shade in here, there's fans in here, there's misters in here. We can control the temperature to about 20 degrees. If it's a super hot day with the fans running and the water going, we can drop the temperature about 20 degrees for these bears. They do live in high elevation mountain ranges, so it can get pretty cold up there, but they adapt. This right here is a sagittal crest. If you ever see a skull that has a really high heart right here, that means they have amazing jaw pressure strength, jaw strength. This is where the muscles will attach. You can also see, perfect. If all of my guests can meet me here at the front part, the next group's going to come on over here. I'll bring this with us. And they cried for her and they had dirt on their paws and they hugged each other and they rubbed their eyes, and that's how they got the black spots from crying. But evolutionarily, it helps them. Now their fur and texture, to say not as cuddly and soft as they look, those are pretty coarse hairs, and it helps them be a little bit more waterproof. They do live in forested areas where it can rain, that water will come right off, and they also have an undercoat that's nice and fluffy and warm. But he is showing off the amazing jaw. They have crazy teeth. Their teeth are 7 times the size of ours. Huge. Those molars are super, super thick. In just a second, I'm actually going to grab this skull out so you guys can. Oh,
yeah, it's all of it. It's all of it. It's like 100 and
I'll show you guys. Now he's also showing off his paws. They have amazing paws. When pandas are babies, they can climb trees really, really well. As they get a little bit older and a little bit heavier, that is less part of their locomotion. He is about 250 pounds. Yeah. All bamboo. Some muscle, some not. But how they eat the bamboo is super specific and very amazing. They have what is called a sesamoid bone in their wrist. It is a pseudo thumb. So sesamoid bones are like on the cats, we have them. They're just tiny little bones. But theirs have adapted to be almost an extra finger. So they've got 5 digits just like we do. And then females females and males will interact for maybe 1 to 2 days every single year. That is for breeding, and that's it. As soon as that happens, they separate, they go their separate ways. Now, typically, out in their natural habitats, male pandas have a larger territory. You'll notice our boys in our smaller territory, our females in our larger one. Now, when they first got to the zoo, there was a lot of discussion on which panda was going to get which habitat. The 샌디에고 Zoo wanted the male to be in the smaller habitat, the female to be in the larger habitat. So you're looking at individual differences. Our female had never been around a lot of people. She seemed a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved. We wanted her to be in an area where she had more room to get away from people, to hide if she wanted to. Have space off habitat. He didn't. He was fine being out in front and center, even in front of everyone.
Give me food.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't care as long as he had food. Now the Chinese government was like, we want them to follow their natural behaviors. We want the male to have a larger habitat because that's what it would look like in the wilds. Both ideas make a lot of sense, but after a lot of discussion and deliberation, we gave female bigger habitat first. Now they've gotten to the point where they're both really fine being in both habitats, and they switch over just to give them something new to interact with and to smell each other. So when it is time for breeding, they don't know what the other one says. Now pandas communicate in many different ways. They are the most vocal bear species. I've never heard this, but apparently they can bleat like a goat. And he will do it if he's not getting fed. But they can roar, they can cry, they can whimper, and that's how mainly the babies will communicate with mom, or they will communicate with each other. They also communicate with smells. I've heard that pandas are super stinky, but humans can't smell them more than 5 feet away. We also have this beautiful glass to keep us from the scent of the panda. And they've got a scent gland, kind of like the pink gland I was talking about with the birds, right on the babies. So if you've ever seen pandas do those somersaults or those handstands, that's usually the boys trying to stamp their smell. Kind of gross, but it works for them. They're stamping that, 1, to mark their territory so males don't overlap and fight, and 2, so they can find their mates. So that's why we're having them kind of switch habitats every once in a while, so when our female is ready, she'll know what our boy smells like. Now I'll get into the family history when we get over to our female.
I know.
But I do want to talk about his grandma a little bit. She was here at the zoo and she was a very important panda. And she had the best sense of smell. She would tell which mate she wanted just from their scent. We have a lot of enriching experiences here at the zoo, and one of them is scent related. Our volunteers are amazing. He's in his bamboo room right now. Bamboo is extremely tough as a diet source. It is a woody grass. It is full of fiber and not a lot of protein. So again, just energy-wise, they do have to eat a lot in order to get any energy. There are about 1,000 different species of bamboo. These guys eat about 50 types of bamboo. Bamboo grows on all 5 of the 7 continents, which is crazy. We always associate it with Asia, but it grows everywhere. Now, for a healthy panda, a panda that's living the good life out in China, they need to live in an area where there are at least 2 types of bamboo in the old growth forest. That is because bamboo has a lifespan of about 70 to 80 years. After that 80 years hits, the bamboo dies. If you are a panda in an area where there's only 1 type of bamboo and the bamboo dies, you're out of luck. That actually happened in the 1970s. The umbrella bamboo species died out, and we lost about 100 animals. Now here at the zoo, we offer them about 35 different types of bamboo throughout the seasons. We try to give it to them seasonally. Depending on different seasons, pandas will eat different things. During the winter and the fall months, they eat more of the pith, so the inside of the bamboo. And then summertime is they're eating a lot of leaves. So it looks like he's doing so a little bit of the leaf eating right now. Getting all of that fiber in. Now you'll notice we don't have, it was believed that, or thought in the folklore, that pandas starved off the town. And there is a shepherdess that was walking around in the forest and she saw this right there, and a giant big cat came. They have that is so amazing and so beautiful. So a lot of them, it does take up about 99%. So he is holding that bamboo with a pseudo thumb right now. His fingers are on top, and that extra thumb acts as a shove to hold the bamboo. Crazy. Now, the red panda also has this adaptation. Are giant pandas and red pandas related? No. But they both have that adaptation. Because they both eat bamboo. Panda roughly, we believe, translates into bamboo-footed, so it makes sense that they don't have that. For a long time, people believed that pandas were related to raccoons, both red pandas and giant pandas. Looking at their DNA, their genetics, pandas are most definitely bears. But it is really interesting that they have that same adaptation. Now, bears are omnivores. All bear species. That means they can digest meats and fruit and veggies. Now, pandas are so specifically designed to eat bamboo through their whole body, except one of the most important parts, their digestive system. They have the digestive system of a carnivore. If you think of like cows and giraffes, they have 4-chambered stomachs and really long intestines. It takes them a long time to digest their food so they can pull all of the nutrients out of it. For most herbivores that eat just plant material, it takes more than 24 hours to digest their food. Pandas poop about 40 times a day. Whoa. So they are not doing that. It goes through quickly, which means they have to eat a lot of bamboo. It also kind of messes up their stomach. If anyone here has trouble, has never had stomach issues, you kind of get the feeling. Pandas are known to get IBS. They eat so much plant material that their guts are not designed specifically for that because they evolved from carnivores, that sometimes they get real bad tummy aches. And not to be really gross, but I will. I love to talk about poop. Poop is really important for animals. Again, they poop 40 times a day, but every so often they poop this really crazy stuff called a mucoid. And it is all of their gut lining. They poop it out. Yeah. They don't have the right gut biome. So this is a good indication for you also to check your gut biome. Drink your kombucha, eat your yogurts. Because the pandas aren't doing it and it messes up their gut a little bit. Now you can't tell from here, but the way he's saying, they've got an extreme upper body and then tiny little lower legs. It helps them get through the forest and push things around. But when they do move around, they can be a little bit clumsy. So they can climb up, but it's harder for them to climb down. You'll see in this habitat, he's got plenty of space to climb, to run around. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but when I came around this way, I saw logs, and I saw logs with holes in them. Any idea what that might be for? Here at the zoo, we want our animals to imitate behaviors that they would have in their natural habitats. One behavior we've noticed with pandas is that when they are running around the forest, a lot of the times they have to uproot bamboo stalks to eat them. They like a lot of the fresh new stuff.
봤어?
This is security base. I have a report of an injured bird inside
He's standing by. I want to see if he turns out, please.
Say hi to them. You want to go say hi? They're just about your size.
The only information I got from the guest is that it's inside 60 dairy. He did say that it was in the guest pathway that people were supposed to